Hello to each and every one of you. Welcome to our channel, Logical NDE, where we talk about near-death, out-of-the-body experiences that people have shared with us. If you've never visited one of our videos before, we'd like to let you know that we make them with people with open minds who are interested in learning about the hereafter in view. As for our regular viewers, let us begin rolling today's episode while you sit back and relax with your favorite beverage in your hand. Today's episode is based on the afterlife. Many of us are curious about what happens after death, and it happens to be quite normal. Understanding this strategy might bring comfort and calm regarding dying. While we grieve for our departed loved ones, there is still hope since life goes on beyond death. Death is not always a painful experience. Some pass away painlessly, but those with particular medical conditions may experience pain when they pass away. The time when the heart stops beating and the breathing stops is frequently thought to be the moment of death. But we are discovering that death is not a sudden event. Our brains are thought to continue functioning for around 10 minutes after we pass away, which suggests that they may be cognizant of our passing. The body does, however, change after death in a predictable sequence as the body temperature drops, the colour and texture of the skin changes, and the muscles relax, stiffen, and then relax once again. But what really happens when one dies? This question is more than a mind-bender. Most of humanity has believed in life after death since ancient times, and the majority still does, even in contemporary Western industrialized civilizations. The topic of whether a person's personality endures after their body dies has significant ramifications for the moral, existential, and practical aspects of existence, as well as for mental health and the grieving process. However, it's likely that the majority of people believe that the hereafter is just a matter of religion and cannot be studied using empirical means. However, the majority of people won't be aware of the evidence generated by almost 150 years of methodical scientific investigation on survival, which has engaged some of the most brilliant minds in science and philosophy. Our spirit and body separate as we pass away. Our spirit, the core of who we are, endures the death of our physical body. Our spirit departs for the hereafter. Before we get the gift of resurrection, when our spirits shall unite with our bodies, we must wait in the spirit realm. In the future, when we are raised from the dead, we will have a beautiful body that is free from discomfort, disease, and flaws. There is a great deal of misunderstanding about what happens after death among Christians. Some believe that everyone sleeps after they die until the final judgment, when they will all be sent either to heaven or hell. Others think that people are quickly judged and sent to their eternal homes at the moment of death. Others assert that after death, people's souls or spirits are transferred to a temporary paradise or hell where they wait for the final resurrection, the last judgment, and finally the certainty of their eternal fate. What precisely does the Bible teach occurs after death, then? Before answering this question, we would like you to take a moment to go subscribe to our channel and support it in growing so you can keep yourself updated with our content. Make sure to like and share with your friends so they too don't miss us. Now getting back to our question, the New Testament's teachings provide an answer to this question that is consistent with the Christian worldview. Those who accept God's offer of salvation will be united with Him immediately. There is evidence to assume that the moment humans close their eyes for the final time on earth, the afterlife experience begins. For those who are believers, their souls will be reunited with Jesus in the hereafter the moment their physical bodies pass away. People who have accepted God's offer of salvation will be with Jesus in heaven, as it is known to followers of Jesus. Although considerably better than life on earth, the experience in heaven prior to Jesus' terrestrial return and the resurrection of our bodies will not be complete. When Jesus returns to earth and raises the bodies of those who are already with him in spirit, Christians will only have a portion of that experience. He will also bring the believers who are still alive while he is at it. Only after the resurrection will believers be able to fully enjoy the physical, spiritual, and emotional joy for which they were originally created. Only then will their joy and contentment be complete. And what happens to those who disbelieve? Unfortunately, even those of the people who have rejected God experience the afterlife immediately after passing away. Unbelievers won't be reunited with God, however, believers will. The two locations where the unjust go after death is described in the New Testament. Hades is one such location. This is referred to as the location where the unjust go immediately after passing away to wait for their next stop. However, the Bible also refers to a different location for those who have rejected God. It is known as Gehenna. This was a genuine place south of Jerusalem, where recalcitrant Israelites gave their children as human sacrifices to the pagan god Moloch at a dark period in Jewish history. Later, garbage from the city was deposited there and burned in fires that were stoked day and night. Jesus used this location as a metaphor to illustrate another actual location, the place where individuals who have died in Hades will ultimately get their resurrection bodies and be judged for all eternity. Unbelievers are transferred from Hades to Gehenna, while believers receive their resurrection bodies and continue to live in heaven with God. The emphasis of a lot of popular media is the afterlife. There are many books and films that describe heaven or hell, but very few of them are in line with what the religion teaches. But what conclusions have science and its students drawn from their studies? The opinions of those who study science and medicine regarding the hereafter are significantly different. Some people feel that to accept science is to reject the supernatural, including the possibility of life after death. Others think that science supports the idea that there may be life after death, if not confirms it. Stephen Hawking, a physicist, compared death to a computer that malfunctions and stops functioning. He viewed the afterlife as a fantasy. The Nobel Prize-winning scientist Max Planck, however, was of the opinion that science proves consciousness is not a byproduct of physical substance, such as brain cells. It could survive bodily death because it doesn't depend on material things to exist. Others contend that since energy and matter cannot be generated or destroyed by the first rule of thermodynamics, life cannot stop with death. Medical professionals and researchers have also looked into the experiences of people who have been proclaimed clinically dead, then later come back to life. In one extensive scientific investigation, a group of researchers from England discovered signs of consciousness even when there was no brain activity. According to research and case studies like this, some scientists have come to the conclusion that there must be life after death. To sum up, cultures all across the world have historically placed a high value on the afterlife. It was referred to as an underworld in Greek and Roman mythology. Vikings spoke about the paradise of Valhalla. The Dayu, or hell, is referred to in Chinese mythology. The Great Plains tribes viewed it as a pleasant hunting area in large numbers. People used to bury the deceased with food and other valuable objects even before written history. The belief in an afterlife suggests that the living evidently believed the dead would require these items after passing away. What happens after you die is a question that can be answered in a variety of ways. Science, philosophy, and religion have all been used by mankind in their search for solutions. There are many different ideas regarding the afterlife among humans, even within certain schools of thought. We cannot tell how long we have to accept God's offer of eternal life, because no one knows how many days we have left to live. God offers a means by which you can be certain of your eternal home. So, with the option of going to heaven or hell in your hands now, how will you respond to the inquiry, what will happen when I pass away? And on that note, we end this video, folks. We hope that you thoroughly enjoyed today's episode with us. To share your answers regarding this latest video of ours, do comment down below and let us know your valuable feedback. You can also support our channel by clicking the subscribe button and turning on your notifications. Until next time, stay blessed.